to know the secrets of true success in life, the achievers of our time are ready through the Great Mind program on NTA Osogbo to reveal to you the secrets of their success in their different vocations. The Great Mind is a program that can help you to formulate the real philosophy of success through the life history and experiences of the great men and women you will opportunity to be meeting on the program.
My destiny can never be changed at all. Nothing can change my destiny, nothing can change it. Nothing can tamper with my destiny. Good destiny I choose from God.
Good morning. This is another edition of the program, The Great Mind and Alhaji. On this week's edition of the program, we are having on the immediate past secretary of Nigerian Union for the Journalists in Osun State, in person of Alhaji Abodunrin. Alhaji Abodunrin is a man fully committed to service to humanity. He is an author, he is a journalist, and he is also a security personnel. Through his life history, you will understand what I'm talking about, that Alhaji Abodunrin is a great mind. Alhaji Abodunrin, the former secretary of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Osun State, was born in May 1, 1966 to Mrs. Omoboye Abodunrin and Prince Adeshina Abodunrin at Ola's Conference in Olúwadúró local government, Osun State. Alhaji Abodunrin started his elementary education at the Youth Primary School, USA, from where he proceeded to Baptist Modern School and later Baptist Grammar School. He was there from 1981 to 1985. He finished his secondary education at Ebeko Grammar School in 1985, when Baptist Grammar School was merged with Ebeko Grammar School in 1985. Having obtained his ordinary level O-level certificate in 1985 from Ebeko Grammar School, Abodunrin proceeded to Osogbo Grammar School for its advanced level program, from where he gained admission into the prestigious University of Lagos UNILAG, degree in geography and planning. Abodunrin has lost his father at the tender age of 3. He and his siblings were brought up by their mother, who was just a peasant farmer.
I lost my father when I was, I think I was 3 or 4. My mother became the sole fender for whatever I needed then. And I was looking at our house, I was looking at everything around me. They were not things that I think I should also inherit. They were not things that were fascinating. They were not things that I can say I am proud of. I was always thinking that I should be above all these things. My mother was the farmer in the farm. He was doing all the weeding and all that. And at times my brother would come from where they were learning their trade to assist her. And often I went to farm with her. And my mother was faster than me on farm. And she didn't like that I was lazy on farm. And I think I was lazy too. I knew I didn't like farming, using my hand to do this and that. If my mother, who is a woman, is faster than me on farm, then people, she would be just saying, "Are you a man?" So I knew I had to go beyond, farming, if I actually want to be a responsible person in life. And I equally discovered that there were so many things against, because I had the opportunity of traveling out of Iresi once in a while. My brother was in Osogbo here. So each time I came to Osogbo, I saw those things that I saw my colleagues using toothbrush. I saw my colleagues, my mate using towel. I saw those things. I wanted them to. They were not. I was not privileged I saw television. People were watching television here in Osogbo. So I was thinking that one day there was one man that was operating a beer parlor near my house in Eresi. And he was putting on generator in the generating set, all these plants. I discovered that there could be another source of light other than kerosene lantern. So when I came to Sokoto, I was seeing all those things, and I knew there was no way I could have access to those things if I was still within farm in with my mother. So those were the areas. Then like I do tell people, there was a lot of ignorance. I am not from a poor family. I mean, comparatively, even what actually was happening then, we were still in luxury compared to other people in my vicinity. For instance, my brother will still buy milk for my mother, and I know that as at then, how many of my mates had access to milk? In my primary school, I was the only person that was going to school in shoes, in rubber shoes, for that matter. Every other person in my school, they were going to school barefooted. I was the only person going. So I was even in luxury. So if I was if I was rich in quotes as at that time, and I was not satisfied. So what about those people who were not even up to what I was then? So I always give this example. When people tell me that you didn't hit egg and all that, I will tell them, look, from my primary school till I left secondary school, I can still count the number of eggs I had. Maybe not up to 10. But we have hens that produce eggs, but we dare not eat it. You can only eat egg after the incubation. The hen will not hatch everything. The remaining one or two, you will just eat that one. After incubation.
Abodunrin is a man with strong passion to service to humanity. When he did his National Youth Service at a community high school with 2 local governments in Akwa Ibom State, his love for the training of youth to become responsible and responsive citizens motivated him to establish a manual club where youth in the community were trained. The club, through its humanitarian activities, impressed the host community and NYSC authority to the effect that Abodunrin was given a certificate of honor by the Akwa Ibom State government. He later became a certified manual instructor for NYSC in Akwa Ibom and Lagos states. Because of the burning passion of Abodunrin to be of assistance to people, champion their causes and the voice of the voiceless, he entered into journalism in 1994 by taking up employment with the Credo newspaper, the community-based newspaper in Ife. So since then?
Well, since then I moved from Credo newspaper to this day newspaper, and from this newspaper to the Sun newspaper. And all along while I was doing that, actually when I was in Credo newspapers, that was sometimes in 94, 95, I joined Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. All along, I've always been a Boy Scout, a member of Man O' War. I was a squad commander in Man O' War, University of Lagos. I graduated as a stageman, and I was awarded the Sleeper Statesmanship with special honors in Man O' War. So when I came back to Osogbo, I was just looking for another uniform organizer to keep me fit. So I joined the civil defense, and I have been civil defense since till date. I became their training officer. I joined civil defense as an instructor because I had enough experience. I joined as an instructor and I became the state training officer. Subsequently, I became the head of the Department of Training. And in 1996, I became the principal of the training school of civil defense. And I've been training people since then. So
How are you combining that with journalism?
Well, essentially, civil defense, security personnel and journalists, they are doing about the same job. The only thing is that the two of us, we are looking for information. Some is looking for information to process, another is looking for information to publish. As a journalist, I will be looking for information to publish. As a security personnel, I'll be looking for a kind of information to process. Essentially, my aim is to serve humanity. I've always been joining all these paramilitary organizations because they render voluntary services, and I like voluntary services. And essentially, I actually wanted to read mass communication or law because I like all these services here and there and all that. But when I eventually read geography and planning, I had to find my way back to journalism. So it was easy for me to combine it. And most of my trainings, I schedule it for evenings. At times I do training, I will organize my training overnight. At times I will be in camp, I will stay in the camp in the bush and all that from in the night. And in the morning I come back, I take my bath and I will be doing my journalism. They don't disturb each other. It depends on how you manage your time.
Abodunrin is a journalist, a security personnel, and also an author.
I've always wanted to be somebody who people could actually look to rescue them when there is danger. And I know journalists do a lot of that. People come to you to tell you that they're having this or that problem. You help them to report. And after the report, it always bring about actions and reactions from various quarters. So all along, I'd always wanted to be a journalist. So that's just the simple reason. I just want to. I hate oppression. I hate people who think they have come and nobody can actually sift them. I hate people who feel they are on top of everything or they are on top of everybody. I don't like such attitude. And I know it's only journalists or even a security personnel that can actually dislodge such people.
Abodunrin is also a unionist. He was the secretary of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ correspondent chapel, Osun State, between 1996 and 1998. He became the chairman of the chapel between 1998 and 2000. During his tenure, correspondent members moved out of the government house and rented their own office at Fadisa Oshodo. This is a feat, as at present, Osun State NUJ correspondent chapel remains the only correspondence chapel that has its own most functional independent office in the country. Having proved his worth as the sector's leader at the chapel level, Abodunrin moved to the State Council of NUJ in the year 2000. He was elected the General Secretary of the State Council. He served in this capacity for 6 years. During his stewardship in Ayuadia team, the State Council was moved to IRM as the State Secretariat became vibrant and accommodating to all members and others who transact businesses at the Secretariat. In 2005, the Sombi Southwest chapter of NUJ honored him as the best secretary of the NUJ in the Southwest. His frantic efforts to ensure that journalists and intending journalists have basic professional qualifications yielded fruit as Osun State was made the zonal center of the International Institute of Journalism, Abuja. Abodunrin, who also has become an author, had his 3 books launched a few days ago. The books are food for thought for security operatives, the challenges of the media correspondent, and why journalists misbehave. This is what happened at the event.
Are vibrant in every sense of the word. They are vibrant they are friendly, they are resourceful, and part of the resourcefulness is what they are witnessing today. I want to say, without any reservation, that Abodunrin has been a very good journalist. I have my respect for him. In particular, I have a lot of respect for journalists based in Osun. I've also had the opportunity as the national secretary to have visited the 36 states. In fact, I visited the 36 states within a year as the national secretary and visited most of the African countries as the African secretary. In all my travels, I've discovered that apart from the fact that Nigerian journalists are robust, they are highly intelligent and resourceful, I've also discovered that they are the type that you can easily relate with. They come across as friends. They come across as people that you can at any time look behind you and they will be there. At least that has been my experience with Nigerian journalists, especially in Nigeria. And I want to say kudos to them. I want to appreciate their attitude to their job. In spite of the risk, they are really doing fantastically well. Can we put our hands together for this offer? Thank you. The executive governor of Osun is being represented by Osun, but the governor is not here. His representative today, I always appreciate him. There are so many things I share with him. But this is not, that one is not for today's comment. I've been told that my remarks must be brief. I've attended book presentations of book launch before, and each time they call the author to come and talk to people, he or she will always say, they will always tell us they don't know where to start. So let me start by saying I don't know where to start. And let me totally recognize my wife as someone who they are here and they are saying my October, I don't do things like this. That's essentially I am a prince. I'm permitted that I am a Muslim. If I don't have for now to that, as the council of princesses and princes, they will think that I have foreclosed, as a prince. The representative of the Union will grab him. They are always those with the palace. That is not a matter for public consumption anymore. We will discuss it later.
Majority of the people that are sitting down here know Alhaji Abodunrin people more than or better than I do. Anyway, all said and done, I will still review the man. Abodunrin. The author, to the publishers of the Sun newspaper, is the anchorman of the Sun newspapers of the state. However, to his former colleagues at the University of Lagos, he is a graduate of geography and planning. This man is a man of many parts, representing different things to different people.
The author employs his in-house experience as a reporter of a newspaper to expose to the public who the media correspondent is. Many people perhaps, some of us in this audience do not know who a media correspondent is and the function they perform in the society. We are also ignorant of challenges.
You have to deal with it. Actually, we come here to celebrate the academic productions of Abodunrin, a journalist of note and a rather unusual person. He is extraordinary, not in spiritual sense, that will instigate you to patronize him as a man for the solution to your problem. Now, is he so powerful as to scatter you towards the exit of this room for fear of his presumed awesomeness? It is extraordinary from the perspective of the limitations of his education and social background, highly limited in most cases, and yet loaded with profound thoughts. Reading him is like reading several quotable quotes, with powerful statements of deep reflection that even many of our leaders and writers are incapable of, and which makes them irrelevant to our portion. Indeed, if you look at the invitation card, you will think it's just ordinary, but it communicates. There is a display of his originality, logical ability, and synthetic skill. You would notice that the excellencies were followed by the quintessential civil servants, who ably started, and then the others, who are not often too distant from the excellencies, and finally the academics, who come up from the rear or in the rear. If you think this is their posture, then you are wrong. Knowledge to the author, particularly intellectual knowledge, and power hardly complement on our political and civil space to the cost of development and progress. Power appears superficially, and that's why many of us want to repeat, appears superior, but it is nothing if it is not well defended by knowledge, especially from the rear. Obviously, Abodunrin is talking to us.
Challenges of media correspondence and food for thought for security of issues, written by a veteran journalist and an accomplished writer, Alhaji Abodunrin. Ladies and gentlemen, you are probably aware that the act of writing books is not an easy one, and the professor who reviews the books also understood that. And when three good books from a single author are presented to the public as one, it calls for celebration. I therefore congratulate Alhaji Abodunrin on this memorable achievement. I equally commend the author for sharing his experiences as a practicing journalist, as well as the former secretary of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Osun State Chapter, with the public. Of particular interest are the subject matters of the three books, going by their titles, of which some of the issues raised have become a monster in every society.
Abodunrin gave the reason for writing those books.
My motivation is I wanted, and I still want people to read. I discovered that people don't read again for so many reasons, particularly because of the whole video. If you pick a book, you would not want to leave it. You may read it for almost 2, 3, 4 weeks. They will be sending you an errand. You say, "Mommy, I am coming. I just want to finish this page." But this time around, the Ogoju and some other books, they have been summarized by all this whole video. Within 1 hour, you will watch it and forget about it. It's unfortunate. Then when you write big books these days, people don't read. Like I've been telling people, this is August or so, this is September. I've not read up to 5 books this year. And probably because of the follow. When you pick a book which is about 500 pages, by the time you read the first 200 pages, you will use pencil or barrel to mark it, or you will use something to just make it sound that this is where you are going to come back. You may not have the chance to come back to it. So those books, they are not voluminous books. A maximum of 70 pages. Something that you can pick from here to Abuja and read if you are not the person driving. Get the knowledge. and I still have intention of still writing on so many topics.
This is the vision of Abodunrin.
Well, I actually want to have an establishment that will be taking care of media development. I want that industry to be developed. Where journalists, one of my senior colleagues, very senior colleagues, the day he was launching his book, he said he had written the book 10 years ago, but he couldn't get money to publish it. I actually want a body, a place, an organization, an establishment that can actually handle so many things for journalists.
In whatever we are doing, we should be fully committed to it. It is only through commitment that out of obscurity have come to the limelight. On that note, we are ending this week's edition of the program, The Great Mind. Join me next week, God willing, as I bring to you another great mind of our time. Till then,